Well, hello there. It is time for the second installation of my Quanda. If you want to watch part 1, you can do that there. Otherwise, let's just jump right on in, shall we? Who was the last person that made you cry laughing, and what did they say / do? Realistically, it was probably some kind of situation that Fiona and I created yesterday, or like a video we were watching or something, but I don't remember that. So the last time I remember crying laughing was the other day at work, because a man sat on my friend Nick's face. So that was highly enjoyable for everybody apart from Nick. Favorite Pitbull track? That is a really difficult question, as you well know, D'Anthony, because Mr. 305, Mr. Worldwide, is possibly the greatest musician of our time, as evidenced by his presence on pretty much every hot track since about 2005. My favorite though would have to be a tie between the classic I Like It with Enrique Iglesias and one of his earlier masterpieces, That's Nasty, featuring Lil Jon and Fat Joe. Why do people put pineapple on pizza? Because they want to watch the world burn, Sean. They're disgusting and they want to watch the world burn. What's the best thing you've ever spent money on? Oh my god. Probably consistently the best thing is travel. Like, I never regret spending money on traveling. And my dog, because technically I did spend money on my dog. Even though I'm pretty sure I got him as a birthday present, but he was bought by somebody. So, traveling and Calvin, the two greatest gifts anybody can receive. Hashtag blessed. If you were a beverage, what would you be and why? I was actually discussing this with my friend Nick, the one who got sat on at work the other day, and we decided that I would be probably Voss water. I was thinking maybe Fiji, but he was like, no, you're not Fiji, you're Voss, because it's just water, you know? Like, it's something that should be so easy and so simple, but then it's just in this inexplicably expensive, unnecessarily extravagant, complicated packaging. Which 10 to 15 people, real or fictional, would you invite to a dinner party? I'm pretty sure, oh my god, what? You have to create and perform a musical number together. Oh, freaking Tara Kaboom. Fix your Google Plus settings, because I can never reply to your comments and I always have to tweet you saying that I can't reply to your comments. This question, I believe, is going to be addressed in an entire video with Fiona at some point, so I'm gonna leave it for now. But fix your freaking Google Plus. That goes for all of you. If I don't reply to your comments, it's probably because like there is literally not the option for me to do that. Would you rather have no arms or no legs, or one arm and one leg missing? Hands down, I would like to, I just did a little pause there because I realized I said hands down in a question about like losing arms and legs. No legs. I would want to have no legs, because I feel like if I had one arm and one leg, I would just like, I'm really uncoordinated anyway, so I could not deal with that. And I need my arms. I feel like I could go without legs because I could be in a wheelchair, yeah, but I need both my arms, so I would rather have no legs. But I mean, I would rather have neither of those things happen to me, just touched wood. Thoughts on Scorpios? I'm very into astrology, as we all know, but I'm not 100% into like the horoscope side of it. I'm more into the planets because I'm a Capricorn and I don't suit that. Like, I just don't suit being a Capricorn. So I don't 100% invest in like the specific horoscopes. So I don't really have any thoughts on Scorpios, but if you're a Scorpio, then good things, obviously. I'm not gonna talk shit about one of my fanzors, am I? What would you give Eurovision 2015 on a scale from 1 to 10? Well, Sean, I would give it a 9 because of Guy Sebastian being in Eurovision. However, take Guy Sebastian and Australia out of the equation. It wasn't the best year. It wasn't bad, but there were no standout songs for me. Like 2014, you had Cheesecake, you had Cake to Bake, you had that Slavic Girls song from Poland. Like 2015 didn't really produce any standout bangers for me. There was no Apricot Stone this year, let's put it that way. So I would give it a 6. So we'll take the 6, take the 9, meet in the middle. I'll give it a 7.5 for Eurovision 2015. I think that's a pretty diplomatic way to handle it. How does it feel to be a shark? Amazing, I would wager. Being a shark would be so great. That's all I've got to say about that. When are you coming to England again, TBH? Ollie Bay, I was gonna come in August, but then I thought I should probably keep saving for moving. So the next time I'll be in England will be in January, and I will not be leaving. So we can hang out. You can start crossing the days off on your little Madzor's calendar. Ooh, I should make, okay, that's a merch idea. Yeah, say no more. What is the secret to your hair? Hope, a lifetime of dealing with a fro, Tresemme heat protectant, GHDs, and taking a lot of inspiration from the fact that Disney princesses all have that like puff at the front of their hair where it kind of like sits over the front like that. That's why I need a haircut, because my hair stopped doing the Disney princess like face roof. Yeah. Since I know you're all up in the Renaissance vibes, what would you say would be the pros and cons of living in Mozart's time / being Mozart? Oh my god, okay. The pros and cons of being Mozart, like there are no cons, like you're freaking Mozart, yeah? And Mozart, it's not the kind of like Keats deal where no one really appreciates you while you're alive. Like people knew Mozart was a baller when he was alive, so it would have just been sick. I would also really like to give my child the middle name Amadeus and Spartacus, so we'll see how that happens. Not first name though, because I don't want them to get like bullied. I got really off track here. Fiona, no. I like the historical questions, so you got that very right. You did hashtag nail it. Please, how to gain personal fulfillment and satisfaction from mundane everyday activities. I will do an entire video on that because that's a really good question. Why do people say LA changes people? I've heard from a lot of vloggers, but I was wondering if you knew why they say that. I don't really like LA as a place. I've only been there a couple of times, but the times I've been there, it just feels really soulless. Like, I don't like the feeling of being in LA. This is obviously a massive generalization, by the way. Like there are parts of LA like that I think are really pretty, and there are obviously people in LA that aren't dickheads, but like this is, I'm generalizing here, so let's just keep that in mind. It's the kind of place where everyone is kind of looking to get ahead and looking for how they can use other people, and I feel like that's just a really unhealthy environment to exist in. What is the secret to happiness? Sleep, good pizza, and loud pop music. Also my dog. My dog could make like literally anybody happy, except for sometimes he attacks people, but like everybody else. Do you have an eyeliner god? I do. It's called the L'Oreal Linear Intense Carbon Black Liquid Liner. It's got a brush instead of like a felt tip, and you'd think that would make it harder, but it makes it a lot easier. So if I did have an actual god designated to my eyeliner, I feel as though it would be Loki. Like I just feel like Loki would like, he would have enough investment in the eyeliner to like take care of it properly, and also he's a bit of a badass. So I feel like if I were to have a designated eyeliner god, it would definitely be Loki. How do you spell your full name as in Madeline? Yeah, you spelled it right there. It is M-A-D-E-L-E-I-N-E with 3 E's. Would you rather have a shark-sized baby or a baby-sized shark? 150% baby-sized shark. A shark-sized baby would be a freaking nightmare because it would poop everywhere and it would throw up everywhere and it would cry so loud, and like babies are pretty destructive, yeah? So it would just smash up everything. Shark-sized baby, terrible idea. Baby-sized shark, amazing. Literally my dream. All I want in my life is to have like a really small but like normal scaled shark, like a tiger shark or a great white shark, but just really small in a tank in my house, like a fake ocean tank with like maybe a bunch of octopuses and stuff in there. It would be amazing. What is the best condiment in the world? Okay, this is a really tricky question because my top 3 condiments are ketchup, mayonnaise, and ranch dressing. Ketchup, you can't do without. Like if you think about it, you can do without mayonnaise and you can do without ranch dressing, but ketchup, you just need it. Like you just need ketchup. Mayonnaise is the condiment that makes the difference. Like if you're making a sandwich or anything like that, like mayonnaise is what like takes that sandwich to the next level. And ranch dressing, I tweeted once ranch dressing more like ranch blessing, and I stand by that. I don't know which is the best in the world, but if we could only have one condiment, it would have to be ketchup, just because that's the one you can't do without. It would be very sad to live without mayonnaise and ranch dressing, but it would be impossible to live in a world without ketchup. Can you tell I did debating in high school? Have you ever had a person in your life who you hate so much that they've forever ruined that name for you? Fiona. Are there any types of shoes you absolutely hate? If so, please list all. I used to hate Crocs. Like I used to hate Crocs. They used to make me really angry, but I've reached a point in my life where like I'm kind of chill with the world, and I feel like if someone wants to wear Crocs, like they know they're wearing Crocs. Just wear your Crocs, live your life. The one thing that does piss me off though is when people wear sneakers on their way to work with like a suit. Like that pisses me off so much, because I'm not saying wear high heels to walk to the office. No, I'm just saying there are so many other kinds of flat shoes. So many. You've got ballet flats, you've got like Oxfords, you've got like any kind of slip-on shoe. Like there are so many other options of flat shoes that you could happily walk in, and you're wearing freaking Nikes. No, you look terrible. Like, I can't get behind that. I can't deal with that. Whenever I see someone wearing sneakers with their office wear, I do judge them. I judge them very hard because I'm like, there are other options. You want to look like that or you just don't care. And I don't, like, I do advocate not giving a shit, but I don't advocate wearing freaking full-on trainers with your office wear. Just don't freaking do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. First of all, shout out to Dana. Fiona and I met her at the Doven meetup and are like really obsessed with her. And she asks, I think I did accidental witchcraft. Help. Well, Dana, you've come to the right place. Now, the first step is what kind of accidental witchcraft have you done? If it's the kind of accidental witchcraft where you've just like turned on a light with your mind, that's fantastic. What you should do from this point is kind of figuring out how to harness that power. So, if that's the case, go and learn and control it and figure out how you can use your powers. However, if you've used accidental witchcraft and affected someone else's life, that's another story entirely, because that's when karma comes into play and you need to kind of figure out how you can rectify that situation and also control your powers so it doesn't happen again. What are your thoughts on killer whales? I hate them and they murder sharks, but what are your thoughts? I think killer whales are kind of unnecessary because if you want something badass, you got sharks, and if you want something that sucks, you've got dolphins. So killer whales are kind of in between the two, where like dolphins, I understand for other people, have novelty. Yeah, it's like, oh, it's a dolphin, that's cool. It's probably not gonna attack me. Whereas a shark, you're like, sharks are badass, sharks are awesome, right? And killer whales are in the middle, where it's like, if I swim with you, you might kill me, but you're also not quite interesting or bad enough for me to really care. So I don't hate killer whales, like I don't want them to die, but I just don't give a shit. I'm like, killer whales, you're unnecessary. Like, you're not a real whale and you're not a real shark. If you could only eat one fruit/vegetable for the rest of your life, what would it be? Okay, so if I could eat nothing other than this one fruit or vegetable for the rest of my life, it would be potatoes, because potatoes are the most versatile. You can have like fries, you can have hash browns, you can have mashed potatoes, you can do like a potato bake. So it would be potatoes if I could only eat one of these. However, if I could eat a completely normal diet, but I could only have one fruit and one vegetable, my fruit would be probably watermelon or tomatoes, because tomatoes, like, you need that for pizza and pasta, so it'd probably have to be tomatoes. And my one vegetable, I think, would be capsicum, because I would need for it to be like a very water-based vegetable, because whenever I feel like I've eaten too much crap, like I need to eat like something salady to balance it out, so probably capsicum. Yeah. I have actually thought about this question consistently since I first read it, so yeah, I've had a lot of time to think about that answer. How are you? God bless you, Sarah. I am very, very well today, actually. I've had 2 days free in a row, which I cannot remember the last time that happened, so I'm very well rested. I'm quite hungry right now, and I really want to go outside before it gets dark, so I'm a little bit restless, but I'm feeling quite chilled out, quite centered, and quite happy. How are you? Favorite British pastime? Drinking outside, specifically Pimm's, specifically in a park on a sunny day. What's your best memory from school? I had a lot of good memories from school. I really enjoyed high school. Sarah and I made a video at the start of the year, which you can watch here, which is pretty much exclusively stories from high school. So yeah, Maddie. Cross promotion. If you and your friends were animals, which animals would you be and why? Oh my god, I should have thought of this question before. If I were an animal, I think I would be my dog, like specifically Calvin, because he has my personality in dog form. We did discuss this at school, like a lot. Monkey! I would be a monkey. If I weren't my dog, I would be a monkey, but like a cute monkey, not one of the freaking ugly ones, just one of the cute ones that kind of like does lots of stuff that's really annoying all the time, but like you can't get mad at it because it's a monkey. Tosh would be a horse, Sarah would be a penguin or a frog, Nina would be a cat. You don't know these people, so this is irrelevant to you. I'm trying to think of YouTube friends. I feel like Dan would be a squid, Lucy would be a cat, George would be the sun. That's all, he wouldn't even be an animal, he'd be like the center of the universe. Why is this such a difficult question? MC would be a squirrel. Miles would be a red panda. One of those, a lemur. I feel like Dodie would be a lemur, like a cute lemur, not a weird one. And none of my friends would be sloths, because sloths are the worst animal in the entire world, and everyone thinks it's really cool and quirky to be like, I love sloths. Like, sloths suck. They're so ugly, and they're so boring. That's all the answers I have for that question. Your favorite dessert? Lemon meringue pie, hands down. What are the best and worst bits about living with Fiona? The best bits are, she brings me food, She tweets about it when I do funny things, and we can scheme together and like do tarot cards and stuff. So that's really fun. And the worst parts about living with Fiona are sometimes she leaves plates places, and I don't like touching anything that she's eaten from. So that's the worst thing. What's your favorite thing about Dodie? Dodie has a lot of qualities that I would like to have more of myself. My favorite thing about Dodie is when she's the opposite of that. So when she like says something bitchy or reminds me of myself, because then I'm like, it's alright, you probably don't think I'm like the worst person in the entire world. So yeah, when she reminds me of me is my favorite thing about Dodie. Who would you most like to touch? P. Diddy, hands down. I've got this massive complex about P. Diddy that I do not understand, because like, if I met the Backstreet Boys, I would freak out, but I would know why. Whereas if I were in the same room as P. Diddy, I'd feel like I should leave because I wouldn't be worthy of being in the same room as P. Diddy. But I don't know why. Like, I don't think I even know a single P. Diddy song. It's just the fact that he's P. Diddy. So I feel like if I came up with the courage, if I mustered the strength to touch P. Diddy, it would be like some kind of Freaky Friday electric moment where like me actually touching P. Diddy would spark off some like incredible series of events of my life. So definitely, hands down, I would love to touch P. Diddy, but it would take a lot of strength on my part. If you could hypothetically change the colors of the rainbow, what would you change the order to, and would you remove any colors? I would separate red, yellow, and green, because I feel like when red, yellow, and green are next to each other, it just looks like, I just don't like how it looks. I feel like it cheapens the rainbow. This question is about moving out of home and like any tips and advice for that, and I feel like that's something that I'll address in a separate video because there is a lot to say. What's your fave song at the moment? And the final question, which is one of my favorites, is how are the plans for hashtag CDF in London going? CDF is Casa di Fatti, which is where I am now, and if you were not aware, Fiona and myself are moving to London in January. So I'm really excited about that. And I spend a lot of time on real estate websites looking at places to live there. Obviously we can't actually look yet because it's too early. But yeah, I do a lot of planning for that, and so far all the planning is going really well. So yeah, it's going fabulously. Thank you for asking that question so I get to talk about it, and that is all the questions. So I hope you have enjoyed my quanda. I'll do another one of these at some point because I really enjoyed the questions that you guys came up with, and I will see you guys in my next video. Cool. Bye-bye.